Hey, what's up? Welcome to DGenEd. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts, like the chart behind me, which is of Biora Therapeutics, ticker symbol BIOR. And so here I am looking at the daily chart. Did want to review a little bit of the history since it's been a while since I put out a video on Biora. And I did want to follow up after Biora closed on Friday, September 20th, at a price of 58.72 cents, being down about 10% on the day and not really moving too much in the after hours. And so yeah, I wanted to, follow up on some of the levels that I have drawn up here. I believe I went over either during a stream or from the last video, however many months ago that was. But the really big reason why I wanted to go over the chart is because of an email that I'm sure we all got. If you are an investor, we should all be aware of, and we should all be voting for this special meeting that is going to be held on October 9th at 10 a.m. local time. I'm in the Midwest, so I assume it's 10 a.m. for me. It might be a different time for you. But a big reason why they're holding this meeting is because of this vote on a reverse split. I'm sure we were all aware that since the price was trading below $1 a share for a sustained amount of time, that means it's no longer compliant with the NASDAQ. And so in order to maintain compliance, they need to do a reverse split to keep that share price above $1. And so the vote is going to be based on the option of doing a reverse split from a 3-to-1 or a 50-to-1 ratio. And, I feel like it's likely to be a 10-to-1 or 1-to-10, however you want to think about it, reverse split. And so that would be ultimately resulting in the price changing from about 58.72 cents. That would be changing then to $5.87.2. And so, I think that is something that is necessary for the stock for the duration of the trials that they've been going through. And, I think that there's a lot of value in it. But at the same time, as it has been consolidating over here, I have not been adding to my position. I've just been hanging out, waiting for this reverse split to be carried out and, waiting to see if some levels would be tested. And before this reverse split happens, my share count is kind of odd. So whatever the ratio that they decide on or is voted upon, I want to make sure that my share count will be divisible by that. So whatever number of shares I have in the end, I want that to be a whole number. So I plan on adding whenever that decision is made. Assuming it's going to be a 1-for-10, then I will get my share count to be divisible by 10. So I have a whole number of shares in the end. But yeah, I really just wanted to dive into the chart. There are a number of things that I wanted to go over, really just on the more immediate time frame, the more immediate price action. I think some really cool things just happened, but I did also want to go over some of these levels from the past because I do think that they, have been significant in the recent past. And so one of those levels is this yellow downtrend that is based on these two pivot points, one being the high from November 9th of 2023, and then the other one being the high of December 28th. And we can actually see that between those two pivot points, we did get a wick above that trend line. If I zoom in here, we can see it a little bit better, but we didn't get any closes above that level. And so that does stand out to me as being a notable downtrending level of resistance. Although, we did break above it over here, but that was kind of like a blow off top scenario with both of those tops before gapping down. And, just as I was showing before, we have kind of been testing that level as resistance recently, but we have not really been able to get any notable closes above that level. So, and I think that we're going to get rejected from it. I do think that price is going to be going lower, but following the reverse split, maybe there's a massive rally, and that could be bringing us up to fill this gap here at 110. That was the closing price on March 28th. And so I do think that we could possibly be rallying up to that price, but I do think that could be some resistance. And if we do have a 1-for-10 reverse split, this price would then be $11 a share. So keep that in mind. These numbers will be adjusted following the reverse split. Another level that does stand out to me is going to be this low that was hit on January 22nd. That was a low of 75.6 cents, marked there as the 100% retracement from this Fibonacci. As we have traded below it, we have done a full retracement, and that level does look like it has been a notable level of resistance. And so that is 75.6 cents following a 1 for 10 reverse split. That would be $7.56, corresponding with, all of the tops that we have seen over here. So again, I think that is another notable level of resistance. And then another level that's actually served as some support is 58.50, which we did close above, even though we did get a pretty massive move down. So I think that is a good sign. And so 58.50, that is based on the low from April 18th. We did get a bounce from there, but actually, what I might want to do is adjust that to be the low that we saw following that when we had a 28% move to the downside on May 23rd. Very massive downside move there. So this retracement should really, be coming down to that level. But I already have that marked as the 52-week low or the all-time low. So I'm not going to bother adjusting that level. I do think it is good that we have reclaimed 58.50. But then just zooming in on the chart here, looking at the more recent price action following the low that we hit on May 23rd of 47.50. Following that, we did go up to a high of 79 cents hit on June 6th. And so I just have a retracement there that we have been testing the levels to the downside. Specifically, we have been testing the golden pocket here, which is the range from the 65% retracement up to the 618. And that looks like it's a range from 58.53 cents up to 59.53 cents. So, right around 58.5 to 59.5. That is the golden pocket there. And that 65% retracement level, that bottom, does correspond with the bottom over here at 58.5. And, we have been testing both of those levels multiple times, getting a couple wicks down to them over here at the beginning of July, and then really consolidating. Looked kind of like it might be a bear flag, but it looks like it was a fake out. We did move higher on August 13th, getting a move of almost 15% on the day, following consolidation around that golden pocket. And then on Friday, the 20th, we did get a wick down. I think this is super, super cool. We got a wick down hitting a low on the 20th of 54.01 cents. And if we look, the 786 here is at 54.24. So we wicked below that level, tested it. Orders would have been filled if they were placed at that level. And then it closed above the 65% retracement, closed above that prior low of 58.5, closing at 58.72. So I think that looks really good that, we did wick down to that, but with this reverse split on the horizon, like I said, I plan on adjusting my share count by adding to it to make sure it's divisible by whatever number we do the reverse split by. And the level that stands out to me, as you can see, I have an alert over here at 47.50. I just feel like Biora could be making all-time lows. And so while it has been consolidating here for quite some time, many months, I just feel like it's probably going to be going to new lows. And so I'm bracing for 47.50. That is the level I would like to add at. But if that doesn't happen before the reverse split, I'll just add, at whatever price it is. I think this is cheap compared to what it will be in the future. But of course, I am biased. I am a shareholder. So take that with a grain of salt. And one thing that I am looking at here, considering, is that, I'm wondering if this is perhaps a head and shoulders pattern. And as I talk to you guys, I'm realizing I don't really think it is. And the reason for that is because on June 6th, when we hit this high of 79 cents, you can see it marked there. We have not gone back to 79 cents, or at least we did briefly on July 17th. That's actually a double top there. The high was 79 cents. So I don't think that this can really be considered a head and shoulders pattern. Although, if we do consider this, while we did get a double top there at 79 cents, if we do consider this to be, like a downsloping trend line there, that head did break above that. So, maybe there is something to that. Maybe there is a head and shoulders pattern here. So with that, we can do a measured move. I don't really think this is the case, but it could give us a level to the downside. So I'll just draw that up here. And so I'm going to start the neckline based on this armpit between the left shoulder and the head, based on the low from July 1st, which was at 58.03. And then I'm going to connect that to the other armpit here, which was the low from August 5th, which is not too surprising because the markets were kind of, gapping down on that day. That low is at 55.5 cents. So I'm just going to connect those two pivot points there, make that line a little bit thicker so it's easier for us to see, and make it purple. And so from that, I can just extend this over to here. The closing price was 60.81 over here. That was from May 30th. So I'm just going to make sure that the price is right there, and it does look like it is. So now we can see, we did test that as the armpit between the left shoulder and the head. And then, moving over here, we can get a better view of that neckline. And so that would be suggesting that price would be coming down further, potentially to around 50.9 cents, somewhere around there, just being approximate. But if this is a head and shoulders pattern and we are to break that neckline, we can get a measurement for where price could be going by taking a measurement from the top of the head straight down to the neckline, and then moving that over to wherever the break might be. So let's just say it's on October 15th, just who knows. And that would be at a price of, let's see, 49.61 it looks like. And so that measurement from the top of that head to that neckline would suggest where price could be going. And that looks like it could be coming down to around 28 cents. So, that's doesn't sound too good, but I think it is something that is good for us to be bracing for if we do break 47.50 and it doesn't look like we're forming a bottom, maybe 28 cents. And with that being said, one thing that I can do is add some levels to this Fibonacci retracement. And remarkably, the 1618 there, I have not done this before recording this. If I add the 1618 to that retracement, it is right around 28 cents, corresponding with that measurement. So, like I said, for me, I plan on just adding to get my share count to be divisible by whatever number we do the reverse split by. Other than that, I don't plan on adding. Ideally, I would do that addition around 47.50, but if we break that level, that could be suggesting that we are breaking the neckline of this head and shoulders pattern, and that price, believe it or not, could be coming down to around 28 cents a share. I think that would be the absolute bottom. So, that is what I am bracing for, but I don't really think it's going to happen because this head and shoulders pattern is pretty ugly. But if we do go down to 28 cents a share, that is a reduction in value of more than 50%. So do be prepared for that. But also, if it does come down to that level and one cannot add there, just try not to panic. Don't sell at the lows. Don't sell when we move to this level. That looks to be pretty technical. Two lines corresponding with that, whether that's the measurement or the 1618 from this Fibonacci retracement. I think we could be coming down to 28. And if that does happen, I'm not going to be panicking if we do get there. But, I'm going to wait until, following the reverse split to see, what's going on with the price action. But if we get some massive sell-offs, I'm going to take those as opportunities to get my average down. But, those are just my thoughts. If you found them helpful, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments down below, and make sure you subscribe to the channel for more videos like this. Thanks a lot, you guys, for watching, and take care. I hope you're looking forward to seeing where Biora goes, as I know it has been somewhat of a turbulent hold, but looking at the past, we do have some potential for some volatility to the upside, so cling on to that. Anyways, take care, you guys.